Good morning, everybody. Demonio Joe here. If you're tuning in, nobody needs to listen to what I have to say on this video. Reason why I'm doing this video is for documentation and a safe place to keep this documentation. One of them is on Facebook, and you know how, like, say you're going for, I don't know, whatever, but usually, like, public agencies or whatever can find proof on Facebook, if you know what I mean. So that's why I'm doing this recording. Anyways, let's get to the subject. I want to talk about the disaster that happened in the past week or so here in Acampo, California. You've probably seen it in the news. We had a flood. My whole neighborhood, well, not my whole neighborhood, most of my neighborhood here in the mobile home park, here, Mobile Home Park, was underwater. The deepest part of that was here, this where I live. I was right smack in the middle of the deepest part of the flooding. It got as high as about 3.5 feet on the street. So all that water continued to go up, like, on our house. You can see the water line, the level line, and basically my car was parked up on my driveway, which had a slight incline. Let's just put it at its deepest. The water rose up to the bumper on my 2018 Ford Flex, which I'm assuming made my car, like, useless. I think it's done. The insurance adjusters hasn't come yet. Reason being is because even though the whole park is drained now and they're doing all the cleanup and repairs and all that stuff, the sheriffs will not let anybody in the park because they say it's deemed unsafe. Now, the other certain parts of the park didn't get hit as bad. They probably only had a foot of water, and that's over on the okay, it's that way where my house is, way over on that side of the park, that way, and behind me at the end of my street. Those houses back there didn't get hit as hard because they're on higher ground. But where I'm at, we are probably the lowest point in Acampo, the whole city of Acampo, because 3.5 feet, man, out there. We had rafts, little small lifeboats, kayaks cruising by, those steel boats, paddle boats coming by my front yard. One guy came by in his kayak to give me some water, which was cool. The manager, Victor, had to walk through all that stuff in his, like, waders. And what he would do at the worst point of this flood, he would go out to the front just to communicate to the sheriffs, all the public agencies who are working on getting us up and running again. He'd walk out there, and at times he would go send somebody to go get some food, bring it back, and he would bring food to me. I have enough food here, but still, it was nice, getting some fast food to eat. And we had during the whole duration of this flood, I was here for the whole time. We had running water and gas, which was good. No power, no electricity at all. But luckily, Victor, my neighbor and manager of the park, had a generator that was running his house, so he snaked a long extension cord over to my bedroom window, and so I had power in my room, which I plugged into my power strip, and then I would, like, plug in my little heater back there to keep warm because it's cold over here. And if I wanted to eat something hot, like toast, I'd bring the toaster in my room and just make some toast. Basically, I survived off of the food that was donated, here, and mostly dry sourdough bread and mozzarella cheese sandwiches. What else? Some dry cereal, rice crackers, chips. For the first few days, I was just drinking Cokes because I was trying to conserve drinking water for. I stayed with three dogs, so But then that guy, his name is Ben. Shout out to Ben. Came by on his kayak and gave me a case of Aquafina bottled water, which I still have. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, and during the duration of this time, basically I was stuck in my house. I did have a chance to leave when everybody evacuated, but I saw that my neighbor was staying and a few other people, and so I just said, heck, it'd be easier if I stayed here with my dogs because it'd be more manageable than staying at the evac place. I also heard the evac place wasn't an idea place to stay due to the fact that they didn't have enough small heaters and blankets to go around. So I can't imagine me and my three dogs in there, them yapping away, me freezing my ass off. Nah, I'd rather stay here, my house. So, which I did. I was here the whole time. While I was here, I figured I'd go out my front porch and just show everybody what's happening. And at first, I was doing it just because. I didn't think anybody would actually really pay that much attention to it, because if you know me, I make a lot of videos of me building my bikes, me riding my motorcycles or skateboarding or playing disc golf. I make videos. I make content. But this time, I was here. I was bored. I was making content. That is where my mindset was. Oh, I'm just going to make content. I'm here. I'm going to report on this flood here I have in my front yard. It was I only moved here in Acampo, California, almost 2 years ago. Right? I think it's been a year and 8, 9, 10 months, a year and 10 months, something like that. The flooding, I knew someone had told me here, like in '96 or something, it flooded that high, and I went out there, and I imagined the flood. They said it was like 2 feet high of water in the street, and I imagined that. I go, damn, that would suck. Well, the morning I woke up and I went outdoors to go, make a fast food run, and I looked and I saw the flooding again. I mean, here, and I was like, wow. So that's what they're talking about. And at the time, I didn't realize. I thought, oh, it'll be gone, blah blah blah. But no, it stayed for like a week and a few days until they actually drained this whole place out. Let's talk about the public agencies and the runaround. Just keep it at that. It's already been on the news if you haven't seen it. All the public agencies, right? 2 of them, Caltrans and the sheriffs, was told to me that they would prioritize draining the water outside of the park because the water did get to the freeway, and they prioritized the freeway and frontage road over the people here and the mobile home park. That is a fact. It was on the news. I forgot, not the mayor, but the guy who's in charge of, I guess, these public agencies. I don't know his title. He admitted it, that they prioritized the roads before us, and that is a no as far as I'm concerned. And then the pumps during the peak time, we were trying to pump all the water out of here, the pumps were shut off like 3 times. And one of the times, someone cut the lock and shut the pump off. And I can't confirm if that really happened. However, if you look at my reports on the Arbor, well, you got to be a member of the group page, but the Arbor Mobile Home Park Neighborhood Watch, if you look at my reports, I reported on that water level every day, twice a day. There was a time where the water did not move. I think it was for 2 days at the most. The water level, like, it rose, right? Then it stayed there. During that duration of the time, they started pumping water out. I mean, pumping it away from the whole flooding area. Once they started running the pumps again and kept them on, after that time, you could tell the water level was going down. And from that time on, I think it only took 3 days to get the water down to where you could see the road again, like right in front of my house. Now, here's the deal. I've never went through this before, and when I did my reports on Facebook and I uploaded them, a few of them I did on live. I did it live. And when I entered that live video, or when I uploaded it, it asked me, do I want to leave it on forever or do I want to leave it on for 30 days? I figured I'll just leave it on for 30 days, which was a mistake, because in 30 days, those videos will be gone. But luckily enough, I did enough of my reports, not live, but on my own camera, so those videos will stay up. And the reason why I mentioned this is because the people's who were affected mostly by the flood, like me and the other neighbors around here, we acquired a lot of damages to our personal goods. I'm going to just use me as an example. My car, all my electric vehicles. Then I have bicycles around this whole house. Now the bikes, I don't know how important those are, but my electric vehicles and my motorcycle and my car, FEMA will not take care of. FEMA only takes care of your house. It's like, who's going to take care of all that other stuff? Luckily, I have... Okay, hold up. I'm going to take a step back. FEMA will take care of your car if you are not uninsured or underinsured. Underinsured means you only have liability. My car had full coverage. Thank God I did that, because I remember when I was getting insurance for it, I was just going to go with liability because I wanted to save money. But luckily I had money at the time. I said, fuck it, I'll just pay them full coverage. And so my car insurance company is taking care of that. So that's good. But other than that, the rest of my stuff. So we're talking class action lawsuit, hence this video. I don't know what else to do. And those electric vehicles, though they may look like toys to everybody else, to me, they were my way of commuting around town and to like the grocery store and all that, which is the closest to me, instead of using my car because gas prices. And I don't think I have to explain that, all right? I mean, in the summer when I had my big-ass Chevy truck plus camper, it ran on diesel. Diesel got up to like $7.29 or something like that, a gallon. And when that happened, that's when I started buying my electric vehicles. And Okay, so yeah, even I bought a go-kart, $3,000, right? Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it's cool, but you know what? I also snuck it out, and I used it to commute to Ollie's liquor store, which is about maybe quarter mile, half mile away from here. I used it as my commuter, as my transportation, and yeah, I didn't have to pay at the time $6 a gallon for gas. So yeah, so I mean, people may look at that as a toy, but no, I'm using it. And my small pit bikes, I've used those too. I use those to go down to Woodbridge Pizza and the Arco station there, and to go eat and to basically do errands. So, and then I have my electric motorcycle, my Citroen. Man, I even registered that, so that thing has plates, or a plate, a license plate. So that's why I'm making this video, for documentation in case it has to be brought up in court, because I see a group of us here, if not the whole mobile home park, suing all the public agencies that prioritized draining the freeway than rather helping us out here in the Arbor mobile home park. And that is just how I see it. And I can talk on it and speak about it because I spent that whole time here in 3.5 feet of water with 3 dogs, to where they had nowhere to go pee or poo. 3 dogs, man. My car, my goddamn car, dude. Shit. Oh well, I'm just getting another one, and this time I'm aware of, like, next winter, if I'm still here. I am not going to take any chances. If they say they're going to fix the flood systems around in the Acampo area, sure, whatever, go for it. I hope you do. However, I'm going to be more prepared. If it starts to rain again next year and I'm still here, after about 3 weeks of rain, I'm taking my vehicles to higher ground, or I'll put them on jack stands or something. And I'm going to be aware of what's happening, because when this flood hit, it was a flash flood, basically. It happened overnight. It went from, okay, here it goes. The night that flood happened, earlier that evening, in the evening around 5, 6, 7 o'clock, I was playing disc golf, like, out here in my living room, and I would toss putts, right? I would toss putts, and I had a basket out on the porch. Gave me about 10, 15 feet. And one time I tossed a disc. It went over the railing, because our house is raised, and went into the street. It's about, I'll say it was about 6:30 in the evening. I went in the street. I noticed it was raining. It looked normal. The street was dry, except for the water puddles that was building up on the little gutterways they have here that leads to a drain at the end of the park. The point was, the water, there was no sign of flooding at all. Things looked normal. The next day I wake up, 2.5, maybe 3 feet of water out there. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? So that basically was flash flood. So I think that's all I have to say for now. There was a lot of damage to all the houses affected here. Oh, hold up. Let me add a few more things. Let me tell you what I saw floating down the in front of our house. Several trash cans, including ours. I think a chair. Lots of pottery from plants. I think most of them came from our home too, because we had lots of succulents. We had these giant clay pots that weigh a freaking ton and weighed even more with soil and the plant in it. Those floated away. And then one morning, I swear to God, and you probably know this already, but I saw somebody's like front porch slash stairs slash rails floating right past my house. Now, for those of you who are familiar with motorhomes, some of them are raised and they have little stairs and, a deck and, stair railing. A deck, yeah. I saw that floating down. I saw it floating like in front of my house around the corner. And then when I took a tour in the aftermath, after the whole place was drained, I saw that porch. It was like half a block that way. It was in the middle of the street. And then on the other street over, I saw a complete porch. I'll post a picture of it because, not to make light of this situation, okay? I'm not making light of, but if you know me, I'm thinking that one porch, the second porch I found in the middle of the street, me as a skateboarder, I saw, man, this is the perfect rail. It was the whole porch. It was perfect. The first porch, it was all like part of it. The other side of the railing was missing, blah blah blah. Some of the stairs were all missing steps and shit. But the other porch, the second porch I found out in the middle of the street, it was complete. And I'm thinking, damn, if I had my skate, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's how bad it got. And then you could see, with a lot of the homes here, the bottom part where, you can see the supports, there's usually like some plywood or metal sheets of metal covering the inside of where the stilts are that hold up your house. Well, all that shit was gone with a lot of these homes here, and you could see what's holding their house up. And what I saw were these little stilts or house, like jack stands, but made for houses, on blocks of concrete in the ground. And then, the earth, the dirt. And I'm thinking, man, if those concrete things like sink, the whole house will sink. So that's why people cannot come in to the mobile home park, because they deemed it unsafe because these houses are unstable. That's it. And the sheriffs are out at both entrances. We have two entrances, and they are monitoring the place. Make sure nobody's coming in, no looters coming in. And like, say I want to go out and say go make a run at the store, they will not let me back in. So that's why I'm kind of stuck here. They deemed it unsafe, and they don't want to be liable for anybody's death. Thank God no one died. I hope any animals didn't die either, because I know I was getting a lot of posts. Hey, I have my lizard in there, my fish in there, my dogs, they need to be fed, blah blah blah. Now I understand about lizards and fish, but why didn't you take your dogs, man? But then I get it, because some, like at the evac center, I'm glad I didn't take that route, because a good friend of mine went to that evac center, and they had 5 dogs, and they said no, they did not stay. They went there and found a ride to go to their parents' house, and they said no. So I made the right choice and stayed. So, okay, anyways, it's been long enough. Like I said, if you are still listening to me, thanks. Like I said, this is just made for myself and for documentation, for future reference, in case / when we lawyer up and go to court. It's going to be a long-ass process, but we'll see how this comes out. All right, I'm out.